Today we dive into the real struggles that derail your fitness journey.
So most people don't actually achieve what they want to do because deep down they don't actually believe that they can do it.
What do you feel about people struggle the most with?
So I don't believe in myself. I don't think this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Whereas if someone's like, I know I can do this, I know I've got this, of course they're going to put so much more action in place to then achieve it. For us as a coach though, we need to have a client win as quickly as possible. So what would you say to someone that's like starting out in the health fitness journey and they're just like, Crystal, I don't believe in myself. I don't think this is going to happen.
If you can't find that belief in yourself, believe in that person. If they can do it, I can do it. I might not be there yet, but I'm going to get there one day.
Ever wonder why staying fit and healthy is so damn hard?
Today we dive into the real struggles that derail your fitness journey.
Struggle number one is actually believing you can actually achieve it. So most people don't actually achieve what they want to do because deep down they don't actually believe that they can do it.
So what do you feel about beliefs and achieving the goal, Dion, kind of people struggle the most with?
I think if someone doesn't believe that they can achieve the goal, they're not going to push for the action required to actually achieve it, so they're going to hold themselves back. Whereas if someone's like, I know I can do this, I know I've got this, of course they're going to put so much more action in place to then achieve it. I think for us as a coach though, we need to have a client win as quickly as possible. So we want them to lose their first 5 kilos. We want them to hit a PB in the gym, just have some sort of win so they actually feel like, hey, I can do this. I feel like this is obviously working. And then they're that much more likely to follow through and then keep going forward as well. It's half the battle though. Have you experienced yourself this before where you've self-sabotaged yourself, where you haven't believed in yourself?
Yeah, 100%. And I think for me, it is definitely kind of a constant battle between back and forth, kind of believing I can do something and believing I can't. And the things that I do to kind of change those beliefs is journaling or writing down or saying things to myself I can do this and I can achieve this, or I can achieve this goal. And it's something that I have to constantly keep reminding myself, otherwise the old beliefs will come back and I'll start sabotaging again. And it's definitely something that you have to keep continuing to do to keep that belief in yourself so you can keep going forward with your goals.
That's awesome. What would you say to someone that's starting out in the health fitness journey and they're just like, Crystal, I don't believe in myself. I don't think this is going to happen.
Yeah.
How would you convince them to actually step into their own sort of self-belief?
Sometimes I will say a lot of people believe things through seeing, and if they don't have that proof yet in themselves, I'll say, look at this person. They're in a similar situation to where you were. They've done it. If you can't find that belief in yourself, believe in that person. There's proof in someone else's journey that it is absolutely possible, and then getting them to kind of tap into that to themselves and say, if they can do it, I can do it. Or I might not be there yet, but I'm going to get there one day. And then telling themselves over and over again that they can do it, following along with the steps, kind of blindly almost. And then eventually enough action backed up, they'll start to see the progress and the body changing, that now the belief starts to kick in and then they can actually start achieving that goal because they're actually seeing it through what's kind of happening for them.
Yeah, I like that. It's if you think back to Arnold's story as well, is in looking, obviously having seeing Reg Park do bodybuilding and then move into the movies. He was like, this guy can do it, I can do it. So he had that same sort of belief because he's seen it before.
Absolutely.
I think that's why when a client starts with us as well, we're going to say, hey, your journey is exactly like Kim over here. Kim's lost 40 kilos.
Absolutely.
Kim's obviously a mum of 2 as well, just like yourself. This is what she did, this step, this step, this step, and then this is the result she got.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, that's awesome. So it's that proof from looking at someone else before you.
100%.
Even better if you can get them to meet each other and be like, hey, introduce them as well. They're like, this is actually a real person. It's not 100%. Just a fake photo on the wall. Cut the photo on the wall.
And definitely. And because a lot of times people's beliefs, for example, let's say Kim, she's a mom, her belief in the beginning was I'm a mom, I can't achieve this. I'm so busy, I'm a mom. And then she had that switch and that mindset of, I'm a mum, like I can do this and I have to do this because I am a mum. I want to be a good role model for my kids. I want to be there long term for my kids, and I want to show up in the best way absolutely possible. So it's flipping the reason as to why you can't do something and making it
the reason you
belief.
can do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and that's like that
well.
power.
Struggle number 2 would be the battle between your old self and then your future self. So you're always going to have this kind of clashing together of who you are or once were and then who you want to be.
Yeah.
It's very much opposing forces.
100%. And you've got your old self, the old beliefs, the old patterns, the whole old behaviors, which are so almost like subconscious. You don't even have to think about that way of being. You're just like that. And your new self, which is new patterns, new routines, new thought processes, which is hard. And, you know, you've got that fight between, like what Dion said,
hitting
the
the
old
snooze
self,
button or
literally.
obviously skipping the gym.
Yeah, 100%.
Fasting all day,
Yeah.
eating crap at night time. Like whatever it is.
And that old self just wants to keep you safe and stuck and comfortable and in your comfort zone. But your new self, like your conscious self and your choice, you know, that's your goals, that's your dreams, that's your biggest desires. This is coming from such a new place, and it's that constant battle between, you know, old self, new self that kind of comes into like play.
Yeah. It's almost like the battle between your subconscious mindset and then your conscious mindset.
Absolutely.
So the subconscious is like past behaviors, obviously previous experiences that decide who you are, who you're showing up as. And the conscious self is obviously like you today, your goals, what you want for your future.
Yeah.
So it's like if someone's been emotionally eating for 10 years prior, that's the subconscious self that's going to step in and try and take over.
Absolutely.
Whereas they need to be present for the day to make the right decisions with the conscious mindset.
100%. And that's where you have to keep reminding yourself and refocusing and repatterning those new beliefs, like I can do this, I want to do this, I can achieve this, so that you overcome that battle between, you know, old self and new self. You're telling yourself what you want to have, what you want to achieve, what you want to do, versus that subconscious mind kind of clicking in and taking over. You have to consciously choose to want it, versus being kind of like pulled back into the old ways.
Yeah. I think like most people, like they're so reactive from day to day, just reacting to their people around them or their environments, whereas we want to be proactive. Proactive is actually being self-aware of what you're choosing to do with your time,
100%.
which is a very hard thing. It's just being aware in the moment of like, what do I want to do?
100%.
What do I need to do?
Yeah.
And that's really important as well.
And looking at events, like if you've got events and stuff kind of coming up, and like what Dion said with being proactive versus reactive, if your old self kind of knows like, oh, an event comes up, I usually drink 10 beers and I usually, you know, have Maccas when I get home, you know, that's your old self, that's your old battle. This new battle has a new belief system and needs to shift and change from that. So like Dion said, being proactive and kind of being like, I know that this is what happens when I have an event, so I need to put stuff in place so that this doesn't happen, or I minimize how much this does happen, because that new self has the new goal, the new vision, and it's being proactive to kind of predict what's going to happen and put things in place so that it doesn't happen.
Take charge of the situation.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%. Struggle number 3 would definitely be the all or nothing mentality. So this is like something that 90% of people deal with, especially when they start off their journey with health and fitness as well.
Guilty.
They feel they have to be perfect, and if they're not perfect, they're not going to do anything. So
Absolutely.
This is a massive thing we see with everyone.
Yeah.
We basically spend time on the phone with you guys every single day and that as well, and this is what we see probably the most come up, is them say, I'm an all or nothing person.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing. This is a really bad thing. What we want to replace the belief with is 1% better. Okay, better than yesterday. I'm improving slowly over time. I'm getting 1% better.
Yeah.
So small changes over time, and being okay with those small little wins.
Yeah.
That is a much healthier mindset to be.
Absolutely. And I feel like one of the biggest things that is the problem with this all or nothing mentality is the belief behind, I don't think I can actually achieve this. So the brain thinks, okay, I'm inspired right now, motivation is high, so I'm going to go all in hard and fast and get as much done as I can, because you're thinking, I don't actually think I can achieve this. This is going to eventually kind of wear off and slow down, and then I'm going to go backwards. So it's learning, like, what can we do and handle right now, small little bits at a time, so that we can progress into little bits and little bits, so we can handle it and have this for lifelong. If you go in there with that mindset of that all or nothing mentality, knowing it's going to fall short and eventually go backwards, like, that's just setting yourself up for failure. And it's asking yourself, what can I do now that I can do for the rest of my life, and slowly build and progress and get a little bit better as we go.
100%. I think if someone has the all or nothing mentality as well, you guys are going to be binging. So you're going to be someone that binges quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's like if you're experiencing like a binge mentality, it usually comes and is bred from an all or nothing mentality.
Yeah.
So it's like
restriction of food.
Yeah, 100%. This food's bad, that food's bad. And then like when you do have a bit of food that's bad, that's just more caloric dense, like you're basically going to beat yourself up, you're going to feel terrible, you're going to quit, you're going to go backwards.
Yeah.
So it's really important to catch yourself if you are having this mentality. We need to basically break that belief as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're a new client as well. Like if that's what like a lot of clients will come in the door and they're like, I'm just really all or nothing, and they'll be proud of that as well, which is like, it's one of the worst beliefs to have if you want long-term results as well. So that's really important.
You got to look at it like as well, if you're like juggling a whole bunch of balls and that, if you start with one ball and then you add another one, and then you go 3 balls, and then you go 4 balls, you get good at that, and you can do like 5, whatever.
Yeah, you build up to it.
Absolutely, you build up to it. But if you start with 5 balls, like, you're going to drop that pretty quickly.
And that's the people that come in the door with that mentality of all or nothing. They're like, I'm going to train 5 days next week. I'm not going to eat any bad food or have any alcohol. And like a week in, we're like, where the fuck did they go? Like because they have one little slip up and they're like, I fucked up the whole challenge, I fucked up my whole journey. And then they go completely backwards. So I've never seen someone be massively successful with that mentality.
Absolutely. And like, it's with best intentions, like it is, motivation is high. And it's kind of teaching them, yes, motivation is good, but motivation is short term. Unless you can find little wins along the way, until we learn that discipline that then takes over, that can override when motivation isn't there.
It's the discipline, the accountability, and I would say as well, just the love and passion for it. That is actually going to get you doing this for life. It's not going to be motivation. That's 100% true. I think lastly would be like identity. Like if you connect your identity to being healthy, being fit, you're bloody unstoppable. That's what we need to get you guys to.
So struggle number 4 is you don't have the support that you thought you would actually have. So from family and friends, the people that are kind of around you that know you the most, you feel that they're going to support you on your journey. You're the one having this kind of big change and wanting to make these lifelong changes. These people are in your life and you're going to affect them. Just because you're ready to make this change does not mean that they're ready to make the change. And a lot of the times, the new changes that you're going to make are going to reflect on them what they're not doing, and it's going to make them not feel so good. So a lot of the times, family, friends, whatever, will kind of like almost kind of work against you and tempt you and want to kind of pull you down a little bit, not like consciously, but more of a subconscious thing. They're kind of not really aware of it, because they want to keep you where they feel familiar and comfortable with you. And you getting stronger, fitter, healthier, happier is kind of a reflection of them not wanting to move and change, and it's going to make them feel bad. So it's kind of like learning you're not always going to get the support that you feel like you should get. It's owning your own journey separately and standing tall for yourself with or without their support.
100%. I think you need to remember as well is people are terrified of change. So if you're getting fit, getting healthy, looking good, feeling confident, and you've got a partner that's like, what's going on, she's changing, they're going to be a bit afraid of that as well. So it's yes, a lot of the time they're going to maybe self-sabotage you a little bit, not meaning too much by it, but because they're afraid of change, they're going to start to do that. And then obviously you're going to have to be okay with staying strong and not letting them affect you. So just be really aware of that from partners, family, friends. Like definitely something to be very aware of as well.
Yeah.
Kind of a story. So Crystal, obviously, when she started competing as well, she was obviously making massive changes, obviously doing massive things as well. And I was like, fuck, I need to like level up. So it's like, it's good because your partner will either level up with you or they'll try and basically level you down. And ideally, you don't want them to level you down.
Yeah.
Like you want them to raise to your standard.
Absolutely.
And it's, as long as you're strong with that standard for them, they'll eventually have to build themselves up as well.
Absolutely.
Or just be okay with you shining a little bit brighter for that time in your life, which is obviously great.
Absolutely. And just being okay to kind of be in on your own journey. If you put too much pressure on someone to try and change
100%,
with you,
100%.
like they're gonna repel against you. They're not gonna like that, and they're gonna feel kind of forced. The best thing you can do for someone if they're not willing to change and you want to change is keep shining your light and keep moving forward, keep
Lead by
progressing
example.
forward. Yeah. They're gonna either come up with you and along that journey, or they're slowly gonna kind of taper out. Allow whatever needs to happen. But if this is good for you and something that you want to do and change in your life, you have to keep going in the direction that's going to make you feel good and, make you grow and level up.
Yeah. Kind of a bit off topic though as well, but we have a lot of parents specifically as well will come in and say like, oh, my son, my daughter's not active. They're not obviously, they're not doing this, they're not doing that. Like instead of pushing them to go and do something activity wise, it's you lead by example. So you're showing up in the gym, you're fit, you're healthy. Naturally, they're going to see that and then want to become that.
Yeah.
But it's like very often that we're like, hey, I want you to train my son. And it's like, does your son have any intention of training? And they're like, no. So it's like, if you're stepping into those habits and leading by example, a lot of the time, if it's making a positive impact to your life, they're going to see that and they're going to want to do the same as well because your energy and your level is raising. So people are attracted to that as well.
Absolutely. And people aren't going to change unless they want to change.
100%.
You can't want them to change more than they want it themselves. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. So I think a lot of the time when someone's like, I'd like my partner to come down, we're like, does your partner want to come down? Just to make sure they're ready for this change as well.
Yeah.
They're not being pushed into it, which is like one of the worst things that you can do, because it will repel them if they're not in the right mindset to step into that next level.
Yeah.
Yep. Struggle number 5. So we don't know how to regulate our emotions. We don't have that basically emotional intelligence to be able to control your emotions. You get upset, angry, sad, and then basically we go into binges. We just don't know how to regulate that.
The thing with emotions is that when we are heavily like high on emotions, we are at our most kind of like our weakest point, our most reactive point. And that's where the old thoughts, the old self really kind of slides in and
Takes over.
And if we're not able to control our emotions in the moment, it's very reactive, it's very powerful, and it's very hard to kind of snap out of it and get out of that old self. So if you can become aware of certain emotions and figure out when they're going to come up, what your struggles are, what the triggers are, if you can put things in place that kind of help you manage that a lot better, you're going to manage that old self, that old thought process, and the old sabotaging behaviors that come with it, that kind of like control that sabotaging behavior.
Yeah. I'll say as well, like a lot of people say like, oh, I'm craving this, I'm craving that, or I just had to have that because of a craving. Craving is emotional triggers. Mm-hmm. So if we're upset, tired, we're just feeling a bit flat and stuff as well, your emotions taking charge, and then the craving is actually the triggered emotion that's now taking control. Yeah. A lot of the time as well, our emotions do not care about your goals. They don't care about your future. They don't care about who you want to become. All they want to do is make you feel good in the moment. And a lot of the time, that's going to self-sabotage who you want to be and the goals that you have for yourself as well.
Absolutely.
So I think like being aware, especially as a guy as well, being aware of your emotions and having emotional intelligence to like cool yourself out and what's happening and stop yourself from obviously giving into it when it happens is a massive massive, big win to be able to have, a massive, powerful force.
100%.
So it's been able to take control.
And like a lot of people kind of use this as an excuse as well, as like, oh, I was just emotional, I was just sad, I was just this, I was
100%.
just that. Like that's no reason to, you know, put in these kind of sabotaging behaviors. Talk to yourself. What is this emotion? What's come up? What's kind of like, what are you battling with right now? What do you need to do for yourself? What do you need to give for yourself? Emotions are just there to be released, to feel through them, and they're going to go.
100%.
It's what you do in the moment when you can't handle the emotions that are going to like fuck up your journey. Emotions come, emotions go. Feel through them. Don't make it mean anything about you or your situation or what's going on. Let them come up and let them pass. Once they pass, you're going to be like, oh, cool.
You're fine.
I'm fine. I'm good.
Yeah.
That's gone. I'm fine. Feeling through it, getting past it, and then just moving on. Don't get stuck in it and use that as an excuse to go off track, binge eat, emotional eat, whatever it is that is an old sabotaging kind of behavior, your past self. And and you'll be able to keep moving forward.
I'm going to say one thing that I find really interesting as well is we have the exact same dominant emotions most days, most weeks. So everyone's got a default emotion they fall into. It's like being aware of what that emotion is for us. Like we have this emotional loop that keeps playing. It's like you're tired from work and then we get obviously angry, we get upset, and that's the cycle that plays over and over.
Yeah.
So most of the emotions we deal with are the exact same one or two that we deal with every single day or week and that as well.
Yeah.
For me, it's more so anxiety and stuff. So I know there's certain triggers that happen for me that then push me into being into an anxious state. And it's basically a cycle that goes around and around.
Yeah.
It doesn't change because that's what I learned as a kid. So as long as I'm aware of that now, I know what to look out for. I can kind of call out what's going to push me back into that box.
Yeah.
And I can kind of break out of the box if I need to.
And what are some things that you've kind of done that when these kind of like emotional triggers come up, what have you kind of done to kind of help yourself so you don't go into sabotaging behaviors?
Cool. So with anxiety and that as well, it's basically one, self-awareness, being aware of the fact that this is like a thing that I have that I've learned from a child. So being able to be self-aware of it and to challenge it and to call it out as well. For me, like anxiety as well, it's usually I need to isolate myself. I need to basically let the air out. So basically, what's the word?
Let the air out of the tire.
Decompress.
Decompress.
Like decompress,
Yeah.
and then basically like go away, have some alone time, decompress, reset myself, and then I can basically let it pass.
Have some food, drink some water.
100%.
Yeah.
Simple things as well that allow me to like let it go, and then I can come back into being like the best version. It's like when we choose to sit into an emotion though, because it does feel good. Like anger feels powerful, anxiety feels safe. Like it's there for a reason. So there's always like a benefit out of these emotions as well. And it's usually just to keep us feeling safe and strong.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, serving us for a moment, but long term it's going to be hurting us if we hold on to it for too long.
Yeah.
So just being aware of like what the emotion is that's on repeat, that plays over and over, and then we can start to challenge it and become self-aware to stop it when it comes on.
100%. And learning what is that emotion that's coming up, what is it that that you're gaining from it. Like if you're sad and you're feeling sad and then you go emotionally eat, what are you trying to get from that food? Is it comfort? Is it a moment to relax and slow your breathing down and just be calm for a while? Or is it a moment where...
Could be permission to eat.
Yeah.
Could be permission to binge.
Yeah.
Could be like a lot of sadness as well as asking for someone to give attention. So if someone's obviously very emotional and stuff as well, usually it's like a cry for attention.
Yeah.
So there's always some benefit that you're getting from the emotion.
Yeah.
What's the benefit to anger? You feel powerful, like you feel strong.
Yeah.
Like that's the benefit to people that get really angry and stuff. They're doing it because it makes them feel strong. It's a very like domineering emotion to have. So that's obviously it's a powerful feeling. So there's always some sort of benefit that we get from these emotions.
Yeah.
Even if it is a short-lived benefit of having a binge and giving permission to binge at the time, they're going to get comfort out of that moment in time.
Yeah. And that emotion is like trying to come out, it's trying to tell you something.
100%.
So if you're trying to numb that emotion with food, it's going to come out and it's going to keep coming out. So whatever you like resist persists. So if you keep pushing it down and pushing it down, it's going to keep coming up and keep coming up. And you're going to get stuck in the cycle. When that emotion comes up, you're going to binge. When that emotion comes up, you're going to binge. You have to address the emotion. What's that binging giving you that you're not giving yourself? Is it giving you comfort? Is it giving you a sense of peace? So take out that food, take out that binging, and give yourself that peace. Give yourself that moment to breathe, and give yourself that moment to breathe and that peace in a way that serves you and helps you and isn't hurting you and damaging you.
Yeah, it's almost like your inner child is expressing some form of, like, they're having a tantrum or they're having a good cry. They're needing something, and they're going to basically they're going to find a way to come out. So just being aware of that as well.
What do I need from this moment? What's my body? What is my emotions trying to tell me right now? 100%. I don't want to go to drinking. I don't want to go to food. I don't want to go to a smoke because that's going to set me backwards, and I want better for myself. What else can I do and give to myself that's going to make me feel good and help me but not hurt me?
So then the question is, like, when it comes out, like, what's the lesson I need to learn? What is my body, what is my inner child trying to tell me at that moment in time?
Yeah.
And it's going to tell you exactly that you're feeling something. So it's just being aware of that.
So control your emotions, become aware of them. What are they trying to tell you? And what is it that I need to give myself that I'm not giving myself?
Like this video, guys. Hit us up with a share, hit us up with a like, give us a comment as well. Appreciate your time as well. Love you guys.
Thank you for joining us. And yeah, I hope to see you guys next time.
See you guys next time.